Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Melissa and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So today's tip is stop buying beverages like Hint. All of your flavored waters, and granted, like the carbonated water, it definitely has like a different sensory experience. I do that as well, and I I limit how many I do. But instead of drinking something like Hint or Powerade, I actually drink herbal tea. It's more economical, it's easy, and I still like to have it on the go. So I reuse jars frequently. These are just pasta sauce jars. I go through about one a week, so I use them for a lot of things. But I keep a collection of herbal teas. I'm actually kind of low. The 3 flavors I fell in love with over the summer got discontinued, and I've got like 2 flavors that I'm out of, but I typically choose, I have my consistent ones that I always have. I always have one of these a day. So I just kind of set it all up here. I'll turn it so you can see what I'm doing. It's really not hard at all, but I cold brew all of my tea in used Prego jars or what have you. And it takes seconds. There's not a lot of time. So I'm not a huge fan of this passion fruit orange. I mean, it doesn't taste bad, but it kind of has a weird smell to it. So it's taking me forever to finish what I thought was going to be my favorite tea. And then the convenient thing about these is I typically keep 3 days worth in the refrigerator, and then I can just pull them. So I can put them in my lunch. I can put them in a cooler and go. I can grab them and put them in the car. They're a little big for my particular cup holder, but I have a fairly small cup holder. So it is just seconds worth of work. And then I will put them in the fridge. So I'm going to pause while I turn the camera around because that'll be dizzying. Okay, so now we're in my refrigerator, which isn't necessarily the best angle, but I'll take out today's last 2 and put them down here. Then I just move each day over. Really hope I'm right about which one is which, because I forgot to mark them. And then I have a few days worth of tea. All set in the fridge, so then I can just easily grab and go, and it doesn't interrupt my routine. It doesn't interrupt anything. It is better for the environment. It's better for your pocketbook. It's better for everything. So cheapest you can find something like Hint is $1. And here, I'm going to pause this again really quick. Okay, sorry about that. So the cheapest that you're going to find something like Hint is $1 a bottle on sale. And it can get up over $2. Powerade, Gatorade, it's going to be the same thing. And those jars, the Prego jars, hold like 26 ounces of fluid versus the 28-ounce Powerade. And if you want your beverage flavored, you can throw a little stevia, a little sugar, a little whatever in there, and you're good to go. You could, in theory, you could probably make it with sweetened water, where you sweeten the water at a warmer temperature so the sugar or whatever sweetener you're using melts in the water, and then you could still cold brew it, I would think, in theory. But I don't drink sweet tea, so never have, so I couldn't tell you. But by switching to that, I drink 4 of those a day. That's 104 ounces of herbal tea that I drink a day just in those. And so that's what, that's like 6 Hints. So instead of $6, I'm spending maybe $1. These tea bags, I get 15 of them for $4. And most of the tea bags, it's 16 to 20 for $4. So about a quarter-ish a tea bag. So I'm saving immense amounts of money, and instead of spending $1 something on a bottle of Hint, I'm spending $1 on all of my herbal tea for the day. It still gives me flavor, and I really feel like it's just the best choice for me. Now, maybe you're not a huge fan of herbal tea. I definitely recommend trying it, and I definitely recommend the cold brew, because there is a definite difference in flavor if you steep it and do it hot and then cool it versus if you just cold brew. I feel like, especially with herbal tea, I've noticed if you cold brew it, you get a different flavor, you get different levels of flavor, and it actually tastes a lot better. Like, I feel like steeping it almost burns some of the flavors and decreases the flavor, whatever. Like, it tastes funny then. So no effort. It takes me maybe I maybe spend 60 to, maybe we'll say 1 to 2 minutes, because I do have to wash the jars every day and I wash them by hand. But it takes me no time at all to make those. It's really not a huge thing. And essentially, I'm spending $1 rather than 8, we'll say, to have a flavored beverage. So is 2 minutes of your time worth $7? And, you know, to me it is, because that's like $210 an hour. So I'm saving that every day, and that's a ton of money. And I mean, honestly, the person I am, I probably would just go without and drink water instead. But I really do like to add that flavor. It kind of, I don't know. It's just my personal preference, and a lot of people do prefer flavors. Plus, herbal tea counts under your water intake, which is really good for people who maybe you struggle to get your, 64 ounces or half ounce per pound, or however you calculate it. Maybe you struggle to get adequate water each day. And unsweetened herbal tea does count under that water. There's a few exceptions. I mean, basically, you don't want to have a diuretic in your tea, and I can't remember which ones have diuretics. You'd have to look on the box. But I really feel like having herbal tea gives me, it gives me the flavor I want. It still helps with the water. It gives me more options, because just plain water gets boring. And that's just me. And I mean, if you like water, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love water, especially in the summer, but I just don't like taking water with me as much. It's I don't know, it's a weird thing, I guess. Like, I don't know. But I like the herbal tea, and it saves me money, and it's cheaper than the Hint. So today's frugal tip for living, I'm sorry, I know I rambled again, is instead of buying flavored beverages like Hint or Powerade, choose herbal tea. You can save money, and it's just better for you. Anyways, thank you so much. If you want to hear more of my frugal tips for living, I am sharing 365 this year. So please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.